Keep watching Transit TV.
Hi, it's bad to say Samuel, and keep watching Transit TV.
Transit TV back again to the studios. Npfl rounded up today. EPL, all the leagues in Europe are all around the globe ended this weekend. We know who the winners are. Nigeria, the Npfl, we already know Remo Stars won the league some weeks back, but today finally the curtains are drawn and we know the winners. We know the relegated teams. Obviously, like I said, Remo Stars winning the league, followed by Rivers United in second position, 7 points gap between the both of them. Abia Warrior, the surprise team of the season, came third, and Ikorodu City, the young boys of Lagos, sustained their onslaught this season after they lost their coach midway into the season to come fourth on the log. Bendel Insurance is another team that we need to show massive respect for, because they were also in a very bad place for the most part of the season, but towards the end they found themselves back and made it to the fifth spot on the table. The regular Musketeers somehow missed out this season. We don't have Rangers, we don't have any by the top 5 of the table, and today we have Victor, the pride of Rivers, the massive Rivers United fan, and Frank, the Rangers fan as well, on show today to talk about how this season ended for both of their teams. Olayinka will be joining us as well to talk about Remo Stars, which is my team, the team I really support. Unfortunately, I'm from Imo State. Naturally, I'll be a Heartland fan, and we were relegated this season. Another big name in Npfl lost again. Obviously, if you remember, Heartland bought their slot this season to stay in the Npfl. I think this time around, the governors are going to rescue this team. They're going to stay in in the lower division and try to play themselves back to it. So we have the last 4 of the league as well, being Heartland on the 17th position, Aqua United, Sunshine Stars, and Lobby Stars all dropping down the lower division. Guys, you are welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
You're mute.
Great to be here. Great to be back. Frankly, thank you for joining us. We're dissecting some of the things that happen in the Npfl, starting with 2 clubs, Rangers and Remo Stars, 2 hours, 1 hour, another hour, bombing. But that's what we're here to analyze.
Yeah, frankly, quickly, what happened to Rangers this season? I mean, Rangers won the league last season, and we were all hailing the management of Rangers. I think they started the season in a very low form, but one thought that they were going to come back as usual and give Remo and Rivers United a run for this league this season. But somehow they never really got going. They never really could put together, consecutive wins to sustain a title chart this season. What really happened to Rangers? What would you think?
Rangers, as we all know, Rangers is a historic team, and they are the champions last season. So it's not out of place that we expect a historic team to win. But this is football. We don't win always. Sometimes, you win just like Rangers won last season, and sometimes the result is not on your team. You can do anything possible. You put all the efforts, and the results will not come through. What happened to Rangers season is a lot of issue compressed. First, I feel like the team didn't have a good preseason because of the co-city tournament that held in Enugu. They were not able to camp and gel together as a team. And unfortunately, as they are coming out from the tournament, they are going into the CAF Champions League. It affected their performance in Uyo during the Champions League stage. Then, secondary, there is a problem of funding. The government He's looking for a way to make the club to be self-sustainable with the new management led by Barrister Amobi, who is also working hard to make the club self-sustainable from without depending on the government money. So this kind of, and thirdly, the club also have a change of recruitment policy, So these are a lot of issues joined together, because once you are changing a policy in a club, especially when it affects players' recruitment, it always affects the performance of the club. Maybe it takes 1 to 2 years for the new policy to be able to stabilize. So I feel like these are the issues that Rangers have. Thank you.
Yeah, I think you have a very strong point there. If they're trying to move to the self-sustenance module, obviously it's going to. And another very strong one, the Coast City, one of us here on this channel, Ukum, I don't know if you have been watching us, was one of the, in fact, he was the project coordinator for that tournament. Yeah, I remember Rangers were involved in it. Preseason is very important. It's when players meet preseason, it really affects their season, talkless of when it's now the entire team. So I can understand that it makes a very good case right there. But again, like you said, Rangers is a big, massive historic team in the Npfl. They are always expected to win the league, or at least put up a title charge. But this is in falling short all the way to the 6th position on the log. Is not something that is usually well taken by fans for
position actually.
Is it?
10th position actually. I said 10th position actually on the log. But I want to ask Franklin a question. Don't you think Rangers were lucky last season to win the league? Because Amobi came into the setup of Rangers, to start a project, to revolutionize the club. Before Amobi came in, Rangers were never in contention of the title. Rangers, since 2016, have been a club that, you can't really write anything about. But Amobi came into the setup to rebrand the team, get them associates, work a bit on the stadium and all of that. Don't you think they were quite lucky to win the league last season? And this is just like, a work in progress of that project. It could be a 5-year project, it could be a 6-year project. Don't you think Rangers were lucky last season, and now the fans are now having so much expectation on the team that just began their project last season?
Okay. In that question, I don't think Rangers were lucky last season. I don't think winning the title was a sheer luck. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication to be able to win the title. What happened last season is that Rangers had a team of quality and good players. It's not like they don't have the quality players this season actually, but then the recruitment policy changed from last season. Majority of the last season players, what used to happen in Npfl is players comes to a club, they play for a season, they leave. The club they are playing for are not the parent owners of these players. These are the policy that the new Amobi led administration in Rangers is trying to change, so that the players playing for Rangers, even if all of them are not owned by the club, at least 70 to 80% of the players are owned by Rangers. So this is what dwindled, part of what affected the performance this season. So putting it in such a way that the last season's winning of league was a sheer luck, that means we are trying to relegate the hard work of Coach Fidelis Ilechukwu and his boys last season. So I don't think it's just a well thought out plan that was executed by the club.
Yeah, I think I agree with you to a large extent, Victor. Obviously, to win a league, if you can say tournament sometimes might be luck because of the route that you follow, but to play 38 games in a season and win and become a champion is always, obviously luck is going to be part of it every here and there. Sometimes referee makes a bad call, he favors you, and it's never really going to be on that. There are so many other things that you have to do well throughout the season for you to win the league. So what actually happened, if you ask me, I would not say that we are lucky, but Remo, we are not experienced enough to hang on to their league. When it really mattered most, they crumbled. But I think this season, because if you remember, about 5 weeks ago, they opened up this 7 points gap that they used to win this league now. And we are saying that they're going to win the league, but anything can still happen. But this time around, I remember, Victor, I told you that time that if they can put together 2 straight wins or 3 from them, I don't think anybody will upturn them. And that's what they did this season because of what happened to them last year. So what happened was, I think the Rangers maybe had some luck here and there, but they recognized the fact that Remo were not confident being on top of the table. So they gave them that chase. And they could, just like what happened in EPL between Arsenal and Manchester City 2 seasons ago. Once the Rangers saw that opportunity, they just pounced on it, and the rest there. And that game between Enyimba and Rangers in Enugu last year was very, very key to Rangers winning the league. If they had lost that game, I don't think they would have won the league last season.
That's true.
Yeah, so that's how I see. Victor, Rivers United, to round up this one, Finidi George as well started very well in the season. Was unbeaten, I think, until the 11th game of the season or 12th. They were unbeaten, though there were a few draws in there. What happened? It looks like, I know you mentioned it a lot of time during the season that Finidi was playing the same player. The players at some point got tired, but still, they never came back. Once Remo opened up that gap, Rivers United never found themselves. I don't know what happened to Rivers this season.
Well, you have to give kudos to teams like Remo Stars, Rivers United, because these 2 teams have been on the top of the table at least from the start of the season to today. The season is ending, so it's not easy for you to maintain that momentum. Unlike last season where Rangers won the league, Rangers at the first half of the season were not in contention for the league title, but things changed and then Rangers found themselves in the top half of the league. But I mean, this season I'm really proud of Remo Stars and Rivers United because they were consistently, at the very top of the table right from the start of the season up until the end. And Rivers United tried as much as they could to give Remo Stars a good chase. But along the line, they knew that when Remo Stars established that 7 points gap, they knew that the league titles are going to be easy to get, so they had to focus on qualifying for the continent, which they have sealed the Champions League qualification this season. It's going to be the first time in about 4 years thereabouts since we saw Rivers United last in the Champions League. So that's what's most important for the club. There were a lot of issues this season, but results is what matters. They got the results, and I hope Finidi is able to correct some of the mistakes. Mistakes. This I don't know if it's a general problem, but since we are speaking for Rivers United, Rivers United did not have a typical goal scorer in that team. I don't think anyone has up to 10 goals in Rivers United. The highest goal scorer in Rivers United has 4 goals. So it's just I said something on Twitter one day. Every match there is the Lord's chosen. So whoever the Lord chooses, that's who is going to win the league. That's who's going to score the goal for Rivers United. So you just see a weird name. Today is the right back that scored for Rivers United. So it's something that they have to work on. They don't have someone who can score goals for them because in some of their away matches they struggled, and it's something Finidi has to work on. Today's game, they even struggled against National United. And then we are going to the Champions League. Are we going to carry the same level to the Champions League? Are we still going to carry the same mentality to the Champions League? Judging the fact that we have a lot of issues on our continental coefficient. So, for now, we'll celebrate like Tottenham fans, whether they finish 17th or finish second. Our own is that we are going for Champions League. We'll resume preparations in August.
Yes, to round up this one, we give you guys result of the last day of the season. Lobby Stars win at home to Bendel Insurance. Academy won Sunshine Stars 1-0. 3LC won at home to Rangers 5-1. And Tornadoes also won at home to Kano Pillars Rivers United won at home to Nasarawa United, and Enyimba lost at home to Plateau United. Ikorodu City won at home against Abia Warriors 3-2, and Bayelsa United won at home as well to Remo Stars. Katsina United won at home to Kwara United, and Heartland, who are also relegated, won at home to Akwa United. Only one away win this last weekend of the league. We're going to have Frank Ajara back to the studio sometime during the summer, and maybe one or two more Rangers fans to really go deep into what how Rangers went through the season. Victor as well will be coming back with the Rivers United fan as well to digest Rivers United season. We are also next week look out for the champions, Remo Stars. We're going to have a couple of their fans as well come on the channel to talk about this season. It has been a very interesting season in Npfl. Like I said, the privately owned teams are coming to the bear. Remo Stars winning the league after 3 times trying. Ikorodu City as well doing very well after they lost their coach to come third on the lot. That is fourth. I mean, that is never a mean feat by any imagination. Massive respect for them. We would also like to get one or two of their fans on this channel to talk about how this season went. And guys, Frank, good to have you on the show. It's your first time here. We really want to have you more because it looks like you really know Enyimba and understand how know Rangers, I mean, and understand how that team functions. We'll be glad to have you back on the channel to talk about Rangers. Thank you so much for stopping by with us today. Victor, always do your job. I will see you guys next time. Ciao.
Thank you, brother.